Hello everyone, welcome to CES here in Las Vegas. It's a very windy Tuesday morning here and we are just opening the CES. And as always, we have outside of our booth already great tech showcases. And what I'm sitting on here, you might recognize it from the style and from the design shape, is a super posh device. This is an Indian Royal Enfield electric operated motorcycle. Lots of NXP silicon, of course, in it. Battery management, power management ICs, the CAN, wiring harness activities and body controllers. And this is of course only one of the cool form factors. From the two wheels, if you just look here to the four-wheeler next to me, this is a thing that is very, very close to my heart. You can see it here. It's the Foxtron Model B, built in Taiwan by Foxconn, with a lot of NXP ingredients in and a lot of system activities that we had between the two companies to get this car running. And I think the guys in Taiwan, the Foxconn guys, have done an awesome job. What a cool product. Over here, what you're seeing is energy management for all these type of vehicles, of course. Solar cell management, battery storage management, charge station management, your entire microgrid, avionics based, managed and developed and produced by Enphase. And if you join me just over here, on the other side of the vehicles, what you then can see is the very tiny devices that we have. Tiny devices, your wearables, like my Ray-Ban Meta glasses that are NXP avionics RT700 enabled. The same low power microcontrollers here at the watch, at the heart rate monitors, at the insulin pumps, at all these smart devices, at the earbuds that are in here in this sports person. Over to the next big avionics. This avionics enabled lawnmower here is a fantastic device because it's not only a standard lawnmower, this is a camera, AI-enabled device, and that will detect whether it's on the green or whether your dog has dropped its toys here, and it makes sure that it does not overrun the toys and does not destroy all of the stuff that is on your grassland. So fantastic device, easy to maintain, easy to run, and that is of course what we all want to have. And if you ask yourself, how can I get my products up and running? How can I operate my products and how can I NXPify my products? This is what you have to look at. Here we have our reference designs, freedom boards as we call them, connectivity solutions from tiny little boards here, reference designs that you can get from us. You take those boards, you can order them online and you can start developing your own form factors. For example, I'm very upbeat of this drone here. This is a kit that you can order from NXP, $300. You can order these drone kits here. Students are building own drones with that, adding their own electronics, ultra-wideband radar, and all the other sensor electronics that you might need. And also, this here is very close to my heart. So based on these freedom boards, we are developing these little tiny autonomous rovers. And these rovers just were used in a big student challenge in India, for example, where 600 student teams, so close to 2,000 students, were programming these vehicles, first virtually in an environment, and then with this hardware here, they were on a racetrack, and they were running with these competitions, and the winners were winning a very nice prize, and of course an internship at NXP, so that we can bring them as young engineers already in. So, if you're interested in these type of form factors, make sure that you're visiting nxp.com, that you're looking at our LinkedIn page, and that you show up here. And now I'm going to take you inside to show you a little bit more on transistor and software level, what we're going to do and how we are enabling a world that anticipates and automates by bringing intelligent systems to the edge. Mainly in automotive, in transportation, in building control, in industrial, in smart home and smarter health. Join me on the way in. So, what you can see here in the booth is we have segmented our portfolio in three big areas: brighter journeys, brighter places, and brighter lives. The difference between brighter places and brighter lives is this is about building management and industrial management. The closer you get to your smart home, so your living place, brighter lives kicks in. And I'm going to show you now how we are bringing our intelligent systems to the edge in all of those areas. Or in other words, I'm going to show you how we anticipate and automate the world of the future. Join me. What you're going to see here already is my ultra-wideband enabled mobile phone. And if you just join me here and look at that display here, I'm going to approach here this, this gate, this subway gate, and I'm not touching anything. The subway gate is just opening for me, and like Sesame open up, I'm gone, I'm through, and I'm walking just me personally with my security through the gate. No one else can follow. Now join me at the car access demo here. So basically, what you're going to see is the same electronics here in front of me. We have two of these ultra-wideband chips, and these two ultra-wideband chips on the one side operate like my measurement station for how far is Lars away from the car. And if you just turn around me here, you can see that basically I get an exact measurement of how far is Lars's hand away from the car. So if I walk further away, you see 1.30 meters, the car is locked. If I move below 80 centimeters, the car is unlocked, I can touch the door handle, I can start moving. With the same electronics, we can even do radar measurement. And this radar measurement, if I stay here, I can put myself in front of the measurement console. It takes us a couple of seconds, but then it will detect me, it will detect my chest movement, and it will be basically my breathing pattern that we can measure here. Takes a couple of seconds, so after 30 seconds of measurement, I will have the data. So basically, there you see passenger is detected, breathing pattern is detected, and I hope it's measuring now properly. There it is, 9-10 times per second Lars is breathing. So that is without any battery active electronics, just the radar signal. We built here one of the best motion detectors in the world. Now, let's go further how I seamlessly unlock my life. I'm moving over to my smart home. And of course, I can have the same experience at my smart home as well. So the closer I'm gonna get to my door lock, you see the lock is opening up. If I walk away again, the lock will close again. So again, the same functionality. I have not touched anything on that mobile phone, but walked from the gate to the car into my life. Now, that is a super nice feature, but it can be even more important if you join me here on the personal health setting. So what you're gonna see here is, you see all these health monitoring devices. It is an insulin pump, an ECG monitor, it is glucose patches. All of that type of stuff we are using to measure the state of health of Lars. Okay. We have a secure gateway at home, my assisted ambient living gateway, and this gateway gets notified in case something is not right with Lars. Lars fell on the floor, Lars is unconscious, the heart rate is not okay, and so on. Now at that moment, this device can do an emergency call, like you know it from cars, can call the ambulance, and again, ultra wideband, like at the door lock, opens my front door so that the medical assistants can come in. They don't need to break open the door. They just come in. We can even have lamps activated to illuminate the room where I am at that moment, to have the medical assistants directly rushing towards me, helping me in case some emergency is needed. Now, that is of course the entry to the smart home already. And if you just move with me over to this place here, you see basically what the company Geo is doing for us in our smart homes. What you normally have today is you have a connected home, but you do not have a smart home. And what I mean by that is the following. Your home gateways are not aware of what is happening in your house. Now, the company Geo, our partner here, has taken NXP silicon, and they are using these home gateways, and they try to identify which energy consumer or source of energy is in your house. So I give you a simple example. Just imagine someone in my house is switching on the hairdryer. This hairdryer, over a very short period of time, consumes 2 kilowatts. And I have all these other appliances in my house up and running. Now, my fridge keeps the temperature for 8 hours easily. My washing machine can stop for a couple of minutes, and the laundry dryer can stop for a couple of minutes. That is all no issue. So if you only understand that this device has a mission profile of high energy consumption but only for 5 minutes, you can immediately switch off these devices and you can optimize the energy consumption of your house, which is basically then important for the smart meter and for the battery storage in your house as well. So you can measure what is coming in via the solar cells, how is the rest of the house operated, and you can see this all on the digital twin of your house. And here even AI-based systems can start optimizing and running the optimal energy pattern for your living place and for the infrastructure that is around you. Now, again, the key question comes, and you will ask me, how do I get all this technology into my devices at home? How do I develop my products? So there is 30,000 customers for NXP that all want to get their appliances hooked up to this Meta-enabled grid. So Meta is the standard of the communication where all these devices talk to each other. And here, what we have again is, we have reference designs, freedom board-based reference designs for energy meters, for temperature, thermostat control. We have EV charging boxes, charging electronics, and it is each time a reference set that is ready-made and where we can help in a very, very fast way, hardware, software enabled, to get rolling with your new product generations. If you follow me to the industrial side from the smart home, just join me over here. We were talking about energy storage. So there is, of course, a couple of opportunities how you can store your energy. Either you have a rolling power bank at home, so in other words, your electric vehicle that you plug into the grid, or in industrial setups with our partner e-info chips, they have designed, based on NXP silicon, a complete functional battery energy storage system. And this energy storage system here that is used in big factory settings will go into serious production anytime soon. With that energy base for your industrial footprint, now the key question is, how do we operate also the actuators in an industrial footprint? And what we have here is, we have the different input channels again, ultra-wideband, sub-gigahertz, the sub-gigahertz transceivers basically that we took from car access solutions even, and the near-field communication. Then we have our analog front ends here, NXP analog front ends to operate smart valves, electronically steerable valves. We have the I/O controllers here and the I/O reference designs, reference boards, and we have the today announced MCXL, a low power microcontroller for these entire solutions, because you can imagine if you have thousands of these connectivity solutions in your industrial footprint, you want to be sure that this is not consuming loads of energy in a totally unfair way. So you want to be energy efficient, always connected, and easily steerable and controllable. Now, from there, if you have this infrastructure in place, you can start also doing more sophisticated stuff. What we have here is we have an Edge AI processing unit based on an i.MX processor again, and here we have appliances, in this case here Bluetooth-enabled lamps, and these lamps you can put anywhere here in the booth, and they are detected via triangulation. So in other words, if you have moving objects on your industry floor space, they are easily detectable, they can be managed in a safe and secure way, and via this hub you have even moving parts, moving robots, smart devices that are out there in the ecosystem. This all led to a nice partnership 1 year ago, 1.5 years ago, with one of our lead partners, Honeywell. Honeywell is very, very massive, one of the market leaders in building management, and they took their building control systems, the Beats platform, again, based on the same i.MX 8, like the lawnmower and like the Remarkable tablet. On the same unit, we have AI-enabled building management, building control. And this i.MX 8 product, that is our flagship at the moment, that is really in volume production. You can see this now, how Honeywell moved this from the industrial space again into the brighter journeys space. And now you will expect me talking about automotive, but I am not. Because what Honeywell has done, you can see here, for the first time I'm not talking automotive, but I'm talking avionics. So the Honeywell team has taken the i.MX 8 Here in these digital displays, these displays are called the Anthem display. And what you see here is it's a complete flight simulator of a Pilatus PC-12 airplane. This PC-12 airplane, for the first time, has an ultra-advanced look and feel of the digital cockpit. So not these old-fashioned artificial horizons anymore. It's a complete immersive experience here, and even guys like me, so I tested it yesterday with some of the Honeywell pilots here, with some of the trainers. With these type of easy steering, you have a target and you just try to follow with this green signal here, that target. You can do complete landing approaches even into airports like Aspen. So thanks for the great support there from the team. Now, going from the digital cockpits in planes over, of course, to our latest and greatest stuff that we have in automotive. What you see in here is our iDynamics 95, latest and greatest big sister product of the iDynamics 8. This is a device that can easily operate the instrument cluster, the center stack, and even the head-up display. Now, the beauty of all of these devices, iDynamics 8 and iDynamics 9 family, is that you have hardware hypervisation in work. Hardware hypervisation means that by firmware controlled, you can start isolating different areas of the chip so that no executable code can move from the one island to the other island, which is important because if here is malware, this part of the device still has to run and the other way around. So this is a fantastic setup that we have, and what we can do is, with that here, we try to push the boundaries of physics again. So what Lars is going to show here next to me is, we have tried to implement ears, acoustic ears, to the vehicle. We have our microphone array here, and what you see is, with the ring, with the bell of the bicycle, you can suddenly see here that the bicycle tone was detected here, and it is at the rear right part of the vehicle. So I don't know how fast this is going to be in industrial applications, automotive applications, but giving ears to robots, that is of course a great thing that together with the Fraunhofer Institute, our engineers have done, and I'm super upbeat about it. Next to it, it's of course our radio reception units here, AM, FM, digital radio and TV reception, and from here to the door control units, to the loudspeaker units. It's an Ethernet connection with audio-video broadcasting. Sounds a bit old-fashioned and normal. It's borderline to what physics can do for you, because if you want to have echo cancellation, noise cancellation, you have to have signals running almost in real time, and you have the speakers to react to every sound that has to be cancelled out in the driver's cabin. So really, again, borderline to physics. Now, when we are talking about what we can do, pushing the envelope of physics, let me just move over to one of my hobby activities here, also on the radar. And what you can see here is imaging radar at its best performance. Imaging radar basically where we can measure exact point clouds of people moving. And here you see the different physics setups as well, the waveguides, antenna waveguides in the unit, the imaging radar, PCBs, and here you see our transceivers on the units. Depending on the form factors, we can easily drive resolution to a very, very high level. Now, just a point cloud for the data does not help us. What you need to do then with that point cloud is you need to work on that point cloud in a way that, that you can process this point cloud in a way to detect and to identify obstacles or objects in front of you. Now, what our partners, Zenda, have done is they take these high-resolution point clouds, they take normal state-of-the-art corner radar transceivers, fuse them in a purple box, so with S32 radar microprocessors from NXP. And then what you can see is, out of these point clouds that the radar systems are generating, you can see objects. Here you see cars moving, and here you even see pedestrians. Here you see the video scenario. You can measure pedestrians in front of your radar sensor, and you see these entire point clouds. So this is of course the fantastic experience of the radar system when you are next to a camera in a resolution that it is that cool that you can really, really identify objects. And now, camera can see these objects, radar can see these objects. Come join me, and I'm going to show you what happens when we are doing both of these worlds combined. But can you start the demo? Can you start the demo? So what you're going to see here, what you're going to see here, sorry, what you're going to see here is basically the combination of the best of both worlds. A camera module and a radar module. Our partner Ozone has combined it here, and Brett from from Ozone is showing this demo here to our partners and customers. And what you can see here is you have an overlay. You have an overlay of camera pictures and radar signals. And also what the guys are doing is, Brett is going to show you what happens if there is rain on the windscreen. So if parts of the signals are blocked, you can even see what is happening in case of bright light, if a torch is blocking you, if you have a radar blockage, or if you have fog. So these type of units are basically here now to bring the best sensor experience, and you can start measuring where are the signals still, what is still measurable down here, what is detectable even in harsh environmental conditions. So now you have seen what we can do physically in RF areas, so highest frequency. Now talking about pushing the boundaries of physics, it is also on the other side of the frequency spectrum. How can we push the boundary of physics if we are managing battery systems? What you see here is a battery management system, a traditional one. 18 cells per block are managed. And then you have a big battery management unit and the junction boxes. What our guys have done over the past month is they worked on electrochemical impedance spectroscopy. And this electrochemical impedance spectroscopy is basically nothing else than via impedance measurements, finding out how the chemistry in the battery cell is behaving in itself. And normally you put a temperature sensor next to your battery cell, you wait whether this thing is heating up, whether this thing is overheating, and whether you have to throttle down your charging behavior, or the battery is worn out, or whether you have to cool the battery down. Here, with that measurement, you can get direct insights into how the chemistry is in the cell behaving. Now, if the chemistry is measurable very early on, you can of course have a much lighter weight battery package, much better optimized, much easier to process, much easier to run, and much safer. So this is the advantage, the future of battery management systems in flying, driving, and stationary objects at home. With all of that, let's go to the software-defined vehicle station.
Yeah, running the route is
Right, may I just join you here for a second?
yeah, sorry.
So what you're going to see here is basically how we are going to working with software-defined vehicle architectures. And what you have here is you can distinguish your setups between a compact car, a medium-sized car, and a high-end vehicle. And just by pressing the button, here the architecture of the vehicle is changing, is arranging in a different way. And you can see it here if you come closer with the camera. So you have different ECUs, different building blocks, and we are following different architecture settings. And I press a button here and you go to our cloud studio, and in the way how you are coding, you can start moving software bits and pieces around the place. Now, what you can do there is, you have basically software that was used for the compact car, emergency braking assistance software. Of course you want to have this also in the medium size and in the high-end car. So ideally, although you have different ECU setups, you want to move that application code around. What you need for that is, you need to have the different ECUs, and on top of that, different layers of middleware. And this morning we announced that NXP is going to acquire TD Tech Automotive. And TD Tech Automotive is providing exactly that middleware. For example, the MotionWise middleware that you can put on the different ECUs, and then it's always the same application on top in a functional, safe, and secure way. So regardless of how my hardware architecture looks in the bottom, I can move the emergency braking software from the central gateway to some body controllers, to some powertrain controllers, and so on, without requalifying the code. And that is the true nature of software-defined vehicles. Now, how do we move these hardware and software pieces into real life? You can see here with our partners, Bosch, Kubota, Continental, Schaeffler, and Flextronics. They are all working on solutions on the S32Z. This is basically our powertrain controller. The G, our gateways. And also here on the Flex side, it is a powertrain controller, and it is also a unit with a body controller that is available. So we can take these hardware form factors put the TTTech Automotive software, the middleware layer, on top and build complete software-defined rolling architectures. And that this is not only an architectural concept, I'm going to show you here with our partners Applied EV. This here is a form factor of Applied EV, so we call it a skateboard. The battery pack, NXP electronics in there, and this is a complete chassis of a rolling autonomous system. And Applied EV some years ago has started working on these units completely with NXP-enabled silicon. So double S32G in a functional, safe, autonomous unit. The central control unit. Then the steering units, the low voltage power distribution, and the DC-DC converter. So this entire rolling robot is loaded with NXP silicon, and this entire rolling robot is not only a concept study that Applied EV has done, but this thing goes into volume production now with car OEMs like Suzuki. So you can look here at the Suzuki booth, see these type of NXP-enabled systems at the edge in automotive, in industrial, in smart home, in real life. I'm looking already forward to seeing you also at the Embedded World in Nuremberg and at our tech days, for example, in Detroit. Do me the favor, follow nxp.com, follow our LinkedIn posts, and of course, chase us in case you have a question or you need help to get your products up and running and airborne. Looking forward to talk to you latest next year at CES, and I hope you enjoyed the booth tour. Enjoy